Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the return of Tony Baloni. Tony, welcome back to Psycho Babble. Now, this is Nurse Philomena and, of course, the lovely and talented Justine.
Are you taking stool samples?
Yeah.
I'll just leave you in my underwear then. Yeah, I need a nurse. I tell you, I'm not feeling real good, Mike.
Oh, you're not healthy?
No. I went to see my doctor today. I'm going through some kind of like late life crisis besides trying to spit out double syllables. Yeah, I told my doc, I said, Doc, lately I've got this urge to wear really tight pants.
Okay.
Sweat a lot, throw my handkerchiefs at women, and sing to them. He said, Tony, it's obvious what you got. You got Tom Jones syndrome. Yeah. I'm not done with the joke. Hey, are you paying for the drum or am I? hey, moron, can you wait till I'm done with the joke? Thank you.
Joke?
Hey, do you know how to drown a drummer?
How?
With water. Anyway. Okay. So he said, Tony, it's obvious what you got. You got Tom Jones syndrome. I said, Doc, Tom Jones syndrome, is it serious? He said, it's not unusual. Now, there you go, moron. Good for you. I had a really nice trip today.
Where'd you go?
I drove my mother-in-law to the airport.
Oh.
Yeah. On the way back, I stopped at the museum. You know, I'm looking at all the statues. I said to the guard at the museum, where's all the heads and arms for the statues? He said, in the other museum. Yeah. I got a dog for my wife.
You got a dog for your wife?
Yeah, best train I ever made.
Oh.
Yeah, the guy at the pet store, everyone's a smart ass. I said, you know, because I'm on a budget. I said, you got any dogs going cheap? He said, no, all our dogs go woof.
Oh, wow.
So how about that? How about that America's Got Talent?
Now your career is booming. That's huge.
So
That's
is my ass. Yeah. Like I said, stool samples.
Now, how did you get started in show business?
Well, my dad was a big influence. He was a stilt walker. I always looked up to him. Yeah, you know, he'd say things like, Tony, you got to start at the bottom. He was teaching me how to swim.
Oh!
Yeah. When I was 3 years old, I ran away with the circus. The cops made me bring it back. Yeah. But no, I used to play tough joints back in the day. I mean, in tough neighborhoods. These neighborhoods were tough.
How tough were they?
Oh, you put your hand in wet cement, you felt another hand. Yeah, the clubs I used to play at, places with names like Freddy's Feed You the Fishes, Bar and Grill, Benny's Bucket of Cement Lounge, joints with names like that.
Wow.
You know, with a questionable clientele, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The owners would say, Tony, be funny. My customers come here to relax, forget about their troubles. I go, how do you forget you're wanted for manslaughter? Yeah. I tell you, the toughest club I ever played, oh boy, it was tough.
How tough was it?
I tell you, if they didn't like you, the owner of the club sent you to the mock closet without any supper. Yeah, they didn't have chicken wire, they had a moat.
Wow. Oh my goodness, that is tough.
This one club I played, I think it was Akron or someplace like that. Is it Akron or Akron? Oh, who gives a shit? You know, the owner said, now you better be funny. I said, why is that? He said, because my customers, they're a tough crowd, you know. The last 10 comics left here with broken noses and lacerations. They throw beer bottles and ashtrays at the stage.
Oh, my.
I said, that sounds awful. He said, it gets worse. Those are the ones they liked. Yeah. I tell you, it's a tough business. I grew up in a tough neighborhood.
How tough was it?
The ice cream truck played Helter Skelter.
Whoa.
We were poor.
How poor were you?
The mice had to eat out.
Oh.
The rainbow was in black and white. It was a small town.
So how small was
The
it?
phone book only had one yellow page. I tell you, Mike, this town was so small, the hooker was a virgin. Oh. Yeah. Hey, come here often. I tell you, they're pretty when you marry them. What are you doing after the show? Oh, damn, I forgot I'm married.
Oh, yeah, tell me now.
30 years. Sorry, I can't. My wife might watch this. She might not.
Tell us about your wife.
Oh, my wife. My wife. Just this morning, it's garbage day, right? She's running after the garbage truck. She's yelling, am I too late? Am I too late? The driver said, no, jump right in. Yeah, I tell you. Have you seen my wife lately, Mike?
No, I have not.
Oh, my gosh. Well, let me tell you something. I sent her a picture to Ripley's Believe It or Not. Ripley sent it back. He didn't believe it. Yeah. The other night, I'm drinking a little bit. I said to my wife, I said, baby, drinking makes you beautiful. She said, but Tony, I haven't been drinking. I said, I know, but I have. Yeah. Mike, my wife, her teeth are so yellow.
How yellow are they?
She smiles and traffic slows down. Let me tell you something. She's had so much plastic surgery. She's had her face lifted so many times. She crosses her legs and her mouth open. Once she was given a drowning man, mouth. You guys are making me laugh. Yeah. You know, it's true though. You can laugh if you want. I'm the one that's got to look at her. My wife and I have an on-off relationship. I get on, she gets off. Once she was given a drowning Man, the mouth, he pushed her away and drowned. I'll put it this way. You're the one that brought this up. You asked me about my wife.
Yeah, I did.
Let me tell you something. The only time my wife ever heard a whistle was right before the train hit her. So, I admire these musicians, and magicians too. My wife's a magician. She makes my money disappear. Did I tell you about the time my credit card was stolen, Mike?
No, what happened?
I didn't report it though. You know why?
Why?
The thief was spending less than my wife. No, I admire singers. I've been taking singing lessons.
Ooh.
Yeah, because sometimes I sing at the clubs I play, a little Valari, that kind of thing. Not too much. I don't want to strain myself.
Let's hear it again.
Valari,
Yeah, that's good.
I got the wings of a dove. I got the wings of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Now, let me tell you something, Mike. I used to be huge. I need, it wasn't always low-run cable shows. I need this place like I need a shotgun blast to the face. I tell you, Mike, I used to perform at big theaters.
How big?
I'll tell you, they were so big, people would throw green tomatoes at me. By the time they hit me, they were ripe. So, as I was saying, I've been taking singing lessons.
Yeah.
It was, what was that your name again, sweetheart?
Nurse Philomena.
I'll call you Beth. Beth, I've been taking singing lessons, and I asked my instructor what she thought of my execution. She said she was all for it. And I'm sorry, sweetie, what was your name again?
It's Justine.
It'll be Jill this for me, because I don't remember that.
Beth and Jill.
I don't remember having Alzheimer's, but anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, I once sang in Key West. It was the only time I knew what key I was in. So anyway, this move on, shall we, Mike? I don't know.
Oh, Tony, now are you taking this act on the road? Can people see you performing in and around the area?
Yeah, well, I heard Ace Frehley, they're talking about working in films or something now.
Yeah.
I do have a lot of propositions, irons in the fire, and I wish I had some other things in the fire, but I've been married 30 years, The other night I was trying to perform with my wife, if you know what I mean, in the bedroom. I know this is a kid's show and everything.
Yeah.
You can tell. But, so I'm climbing on my wife, trying to do it. After 30 years, it's not as easy as it used. At my age, my back goes out more than I do. So my wife and I were trying to do it. This peeping Tom reaches in through the bedroom window. He pulls down the shade.
I did not want to watch that.
Now my wife, she tries. I told you about my wife.
You did tell us a little bit about her.
I tell you, trick-or-treaters give her candy and all that stuff. So she tries. She really tries. Like, recently she bought a see-through nightgown.
Oh.
Yeah, but problem is, at my age, I can't see through it. But people are always calling me, offers, this agent, that agent, and I got a call the other day. There's some agent out there somewhere in California wants me for a porno movie. Ooh. I told him it'd have to be a really short movie. So 30 years of marriage, I have no sex life. Beth, I wake up in the morning, vultures are circling my crotch. So I went to see my urologist.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I said, Doc, I have not had an erection in years. Can you help me? He said, sure, just let me freshen up first. I got a new proctologist.
Oh, we got a new proctologist.
Yeah, nice guy, pain in the ass. This guy's getting carried away here. You ever seen that movie, The Rocker, with that guy from The Office? He screws up the Anyway, we'll talk about that. Like I said, are you paying him? I'm not paying him, am I? So anyway, I forgot what I was even going to freaking say. Yeah, my proctologist. Yeah. He uses 2 fingers so he can get a second opinion.
Oh!
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
My wife the other night, she said, Tony, you're going to drive me to an early grave. I said, great, get in the car, I'll drive you there. No, actually, my wife and I know I joke a lot and everything, but we're really very close. The other night, it only took 2 cops and a German Shepherd to separate us.
Tony Baloni, you know what? We are just about out of time here.
I'm making a 2-hour show like last time. But Mike, can I just say, I want to say something. I'm going to get a little serious here.
Okay.
It was just hard for me to do, but this is where it all started, your show.
It is, yeah.
Well, Tony Baloni, you had the great legendary Tony Baloni on your show around 2011. And long story short, it attracted the attention of the producers. This is true of America's Got Talent.
Yes.
They loved the segment, and I flew out there, and boy, did that make my arms tired. but you would think America's Got Talent would put me up in a nice hotel.
Yeah.
I had a pay for my own motel. So no, I got a cheap joint on the outside of LA because LA's expensive.
Yeah.
So I go in there. The guy at the desk says $29 for a room, $19 if you make your own bed. I said, great, I'll make my own bed. He brought me some nails and wood. So then I go, Beth, Marge, or Cindy.
Jill,
I go in the room. There's 2 mice fighting in the can. I call the desk. I said, "There's 2 mice fighting in the bathroom." He said, "What do you want for $29? Mike Tyson?" We're gonna get a stool sample here. Stool sample, semen sample, urine sample. I'll leave it with you.
Just give her your underwear.
My
right?
underwear. That's what I said. I'll leave it with you.
Oh my!
I'd like to thank the drummer, but I can't. I'd like to thank him, but I can't. There you go. Yeah. I've had a wonderful evening, but this wasn't one of them. But thanks.